Hello friends, this is our second message, second recording. I'm Damitha and I'm with my friend, my guide in the Buddha Dhamma, and we are here in Wales in the United Kingdom. So we want to try and explain some of the Pali words and how they might have been misunderstood or mistranslated or misdirected, and therefore we had been working with some degree of misunderstanding and maybe even ignorance, because we are for years, decades, thinking about various Pali words which may not mean quite the same thing as we grew up thinking. For example, the word dukkha, or the word anicca, or the word anatta, or the word chitta, or the word Chaitasika, or Sabba,
Kusal,
Kusal,
Akusal.
Akusal. Any other word? So far we have 8.
Yeah.
So what are the words? Dukkha.
And you know that the 8 called the Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, all the words nowadays using the normal ideas, but Lord Buddha has explained the deep ideas. Deep ideas is getting vanished, and the normal ideas comes out now.
Yeah. Another thing you explained to me, and that was very helpful, is that a lot of these Pali words had been translated into English, and then from English they had been transferred to Sinhala by various well-meaning Sri Lankans. So all these good intentions would have diluted some of the true meaning behind these words. So let us pick one word. Let's pick dukkha. Dukkha is a Pali word?
Yeah, dukkha, not only the dukkha, but also someone says the foundation of the Buddhism, it is called the Trilakshana. Trilakshana means the anicca, dukkha, anatta. The anicca, dukkha, anatta, the Lord Buddha has explained anicca, dukkha, anatta for considering about to nibbana. Nowadays the anicca, dukkha, anatta, anicca means Lord Buddha has explained anicca means the arising and passing away. It means samudaya and nirodha.
Okay, something that generated and then is destroyed. Something that comes into being and then ceases to exist.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Immediate and at once.
At once.
At
So
once.
as soon as it comes, it decays.
Yeah. Samudaya and nirodha.
Samudaya, nirodha.
Samudaya means the creating something, and the nirodha is vanishing or ending.
Okay.
The something arising and passing away in the same time. What is the meaning of that? Something is happening, arising and passing away.
Yes. So it
Dying
is,
and
so
with the verb, the arising and passing away in the same time.
that is
Yeah.
the only way to
What is
describe
the-
it. So it is so impermanent. It is so fleeting. That the instant that it is generated, that same instant it decays. So that
What is the number? Something is happening instantly happening, and
momentarily.
yeah. Now, what is the amount? Something is happening in the same time, arising and passing away in the same time.
Yeah. Consequently.
No, the zero.
Zero. Okay.
That is called
It
the
becomes
emptiness.
zero. So once again we are talking about the shunyata.
Is shunyata or the emptiness, Buddha explained for the mind, mind is not existing. It is always rising and passing away, rising and passing away. Then it is the zero. Zero means the shunya. Shunya means the mind's quality.
Okay. So this is the central aspect of the anicca doctrine, which means that there is, loosely we can say that it is fleeting or not permanent, but actually, as my friend just explained, it is about the emptiness, the nothingness or the zeroness. So whatever mental processes we are analyzing, or mental movements, chaitasika, mental movements, they come and they go.
Yeah.
They come and they go.
Now, a chitta. Chitta is go and come, arising and passing away.
Okay.
The quality of the chitta. Chitta means the first energy.
Okay.
The after the chitta transfer the energy for the chaitasika.
Okay.
The chaitasika means the vijnana or the consciousness.
Okay.
Lord Buddha explained, when we are seeing something, listening something, tasting something, the first chitta after chaitasika, first mind after the consciousness.
Okay.
Mind and consciousness is the two energies.
Okay.
But when we are reading the Tripitaka also mention about chitta, chaitasika and mind and consciousness is a one energy. That is the problem, the people difficult to understand the source of the Buddhism.
Okay. So that is something we need to explain further about chitta and chaitasika, how these mental processes in the mind generate consciousness. 6 types of consciousness that the Buddha has analyzed. One generated from pictures or light, vision,
Yeah, eye contact
making
with
contact
the outside pictures,
with the eye, generating visual consciousness.
visual consciousness. It is in the Pali words the chakku vijnana.
Chakku vijnana. Then the second one, auditory consciousness, because of sound waves that are making contact with our hearing apparatus. Then
It is
we
called
can
the sota vijnana.
sota vijnana.
Sota means
auditory.
the hearing.
Yeah, auditory consciousness.
Yeah.
Then we can talk about smell. So various chemical odors or shapes or vibrations that come into contact with the sensitive areas, the olfactory organs of the nose, gives rise to a different type of consciousness. That means
It is called the gahana vijnana.
Gahana Vijnana. So Gahana Vijnana, we can say it is an olfactory consciousness. Then we have taste.
Yeah, taste.
So taste of salt or bitter or sweet and so on, that comes into contact with the sensory parts of the tongue, generates, we can call it a taste consciousness or gustatory consciousness.
Gustatory, yeah.
And
it is
that-
called the juha vijnana.
Juha Vijnana. So now we've got 4. We've got the vision, we've got the hearing, we've got the smell, we've got the taste, and then number 5, we've got the skin, external
yeah.
skin. Because the skin is a very sensitive organ. It is throughout the exterior of the body. It's probably the biggest organ in the body.
Yeah.
And it can sense pain, it can sense heat, it can sense cold.
And someone is touching.
Yeah, so light touch, it can sense pressure.
Mm.
And so that is then generated from the sensory parts of the skin and taken to the brain, and that generates a consciousness, and that
Yes,
is called
kaya vijnana.
Kaya Vijnana. So Kaya means body, maybe external body.
Yeah, external body.
So external body type consciousness. So that's the 5th one. And the 6th one is really very useful. No, it's
Yeah, that
generated
is the-
inside the mental processes, or
Yeah, the
inside the
brain.
mind, or inside the brain.
Brain
Okay.
is the mana.
Okay.
The mana contact with it is called that the dhamma. Dhamma means our past memories and our planning and everything contact with the brain.
Okay.
The mana paticca dhamma uppajjati the mano vijnana.
Okay. So when the mind or the brain, it's difficult to translate exactly, when that makes contact with various memories or plans or hopes or even sensations from within the body, from inside the body, such as the pain you might get from your bones or your joints or from inside your body organs, those type of internal sensations that are coming through will be mano vijnana.
Mano vijnana.
And that we can call it the mind consciousness. But you might argue that all these various inputs into the sensory processing of the brain eventually generates consciousness because of the neurons and actions or potentials and electrical activity of the brain. But that might not be the full picture, because as we have explained before, if we believe that reincarnation is real, then it means that even when the brain is ceasing to function and actually is therefore in the process of dying, for some reason the consciousness appears to be becoming even more heightened and sharper, and the energy therefore seems to become more intense. The reason we believe that is because of various bits of evidence that initially they were just anecdotes, one case here, second case here, of people who have been resuscitated after their heart has stopped. And so when they come back, they give us various accounts, which initially we thought maybe they are hallucinations because of the lack of oxygen in the brain. But now the evidence is coming through, because there are thousands, no, hundreds of thousands of such cases that have been documented by various doctors and published in very well peer-reviewed journals, which you can see on the internet, you can see them on YouTube videos, which shows that, okay, the consciousness, the vijnana, appears to be heightened and doesn't seem to die even though the brain is dying. And that is what we believe migrates to the next life for rebirth. So we have therefore explained that word anicca, which is the impermanence or the fleeting nature of thoughts.
Anicca means Lord Buddha is talking about anicca. Anicca is the energy's quality, the quality of the energy, anicca. But the physical things is the impermanent.
Okay.
It is called the anitya. Anitya and anicca, the different words, but nowadays
It's not the same.
The same.
Okay.
Anicca
but
means
the
the
Buddha
physical.
is making two different things.
Yeah, two different
Okay.
things. The physical things is
Okay.
anitya.
Okay.
Nowadays, most of the Buddhists in the meditation, they are practicing anitya. Anitya means impermanent. Is the physical things.
Okay.
Buddha's teaching is
About the energy.
Energy is the anicca. Anicca is means rising and passing in the same time. That's shunya. When the touching, the organs touching the objects, the
Contact, making contact.
six organs contact with six objects. Chakku and pictures. The chakku eye contact with the pictures, then makes the chakku vijnana.
Okay.
And sota vijnana, jiva vijnana, kaya vijnana, mano vijnana, all arising and passing away, that's shunya. Then Buddha asks, why you thinking about that? It is over. When you are seeing something, listening something, tasting something, it is 1 second, it's over. When you are thinking about that, the past things, that is the problem.
Okay. So basically, my friends, what's clear is that the Buddha has analyzed these things in such a way that he draws a distinction between the energy of of something that we make contact with our sense organs, and the feeling or the result that it causes within our mental processes. That is the difference. So while the energy is anicca, comes and goes, then the question is, what do we do in response to that energy that has now come into contact and generated our vijnana, generated our consciousness? It is only fleeting and it is momentary, therefore there is no point in being attached to it. Is that
Yeah.
the idea?
That is the problem. We are taking the six organs, using that the objects arising and passing away. After that, we are thinking about that those things, then making that the consciousness.
Okay.
The mind is instantly vanish,
Okay.
seeing and vanish, but we thinking about that the seeing things, listening things. It makes that the consciousness.
Okay. So something that is fleeting, coming and going, then becomes more persistent, or it is becoming like an illusion, so that we believe that this is something that is much more lasting and um, much more prolonged than it actually is, because of our mental processes being attached to this and then thinking and rethinking about it. So it becomes something that generates a feeling like it is continuous and it is ongoing, and
Yeah.
that gives us this conscious energy. The reason this is important is, once we understand how consciousness is generated by these six inputs, and then if we then talk about the next step, which is one by one getting rid of each of these sensory inputs, from hearing and vision and taste and smell and touch and the internal thoughts from your memories and
Yeah.
hopes. Once those things are controlled, and this takes a lot of practice, then we
That
achieve.
practice is called the meditation.
Yes. So this is a different type of meditation from what you might think of as focusing on one particular action or one particular thought. For example, I can do meditation and just focus on my breathing, or I can concentrate my mind and focus on walking and taking a step by step, step by step. But that doesn't stop those six faculties of consciousness or vijnana, because we are still letting inputs come through the eyes and the nose and the taste and so on, so that it is not the same as achieving samadhi or
Yeah.
achieving.
Earlier you mentioned about that meditation.
Yes.
That when you are focusing our breathing or some sensation, that is called the samadhi bhavana. It is called the dhyana bhavana. Dhyana. It is the samadhi. The Lord Buddha's mentioned about the vipassana bhavana.
Okay.
That is samadhi before Lord Buddha's achieved enlightenment. He also practiced 6 years the samadhi bhavana, dhyana bhavana. After getting enlightenment, he forget all the things. He taught in the Pubbe anunusutesu dhammesu chakkung udapadi. It means Pubbe anunusutesu means the previous. Earlier, I knew something, but newly after enlightenment, he realized the new methods, new dhamma. It is called the Pubbe ananusutesu dhammesu, the new one. But nowadays we also practice it, that dhyana bhavana, not the vipassana bhavana. Vipassana meditation is that 6 organs creating the 6 vijnana. We have to stop in that the 6 vijnana. That is the vipassana bhavana.
Okay. So the important thing here is, during our journey to nirvana or nibbana, in order to cut our rebirth cycle, what we need is not vipassana bhava,
Yeah,
is vipassana bhava, not
Samadhi bhava.
not samadhi bhavana. So not samadhi meditation, but vipassana meditation. The difference is that with samadhi meditation, what you are doing is focusing or concentrating on some action or some thought.
We can reach some level, the first dhyana, second dhyana, third dhyana, fourth dhyana, and
But
eighth.
that doesn't help with
It is
nibbana.
not nibbana.
So to help with nibbana, we need vipassana,
Vipassana. It is the-
meditation.
yeah.
The vipassana meditation is different because with vipassana meditation, what you are doing is you are shutting things down. You are shutting down the inputs from your eyes by closing them. You are making sure you are in an environment where you're not going to have bad or strong odors or perfumes. And so same thing you're going to be doing, knocking down the sensations coming through your ears and your taste buds and your feelings from being too hot or too cold or in a painful position and so on. And then you are left with the sixth very important one,
Yeah.
which is the thoughts that are going on in your mind and the sensations that you're experiencing from inside your memories and hopes. And that's what you are dealt with, trying to control that for many, many hours and months and years of practice. To get that position where you are in a state of, what do we call that state when you have closed all the six down and you are in a perfect feeling of nothingness,
Yeah,
thinking about
it is
nothing.
called that when you are practicing the samadhi bhavana, we can reach the level of the mind.
Vipassana bhava.
Now in the samadhi
Okay.
also we can reach the level of the mind.
Okay.
But first level, first dhyana, second dhyana, third dhyana, but Lord Buddhas and the other religious leaders explain, when you are dying, that the position we can rebirth, that the Brahma, the rebirth again.
Yes,
The,
but we
another
want to
word.
stop the rebirth.
Oh,
no?
we want to stop in the rebirth. When you are practicing that the vipassana, the result of the nirodha.
Nirodha.
Nirodha means the another words for nibbana.
Okay, so when you achieve the state of your mind so that you have meditated and shut off those six inputs that we talked about that generates those six types of consciousness, then you come to nirodha. So when you come to nirodha, sometimes you explain to me in previous discussion, nirodha samapaththi.
Samapaththi. When you can stay 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, we can continue the status of nirodha. It is called the nirodha samapaththi.
So that is what we want to get to with the type of Buddhist meditation, the vipassana bhavana, which hopefully it will generate that nirodha samapaththi state. So if you are in a nirodha samapaththi state, that is when your mind is not actually focusing or thinking or meditating or concentrating on anything at all. It is a feeling of just sitting there or just lying down there or just standing there
Nothing doing.
with doing nothing, thinking nothing, and it is a state of complete equilibrium and peace. And that is a very difficult state to achieve. If you achieve it for a few minutes at a time to begin with, fine.
Yeah.
But as my friend was explaining, if you keep practicing for longer and longer, then you will achieve that state faster and stay in that state for longer. If you are in that state, and while you are in that state of nirodha samapaththi, if your heart then stops,
Yeah.
what do you think will happen? What will happen? If you-
Nibbana, parinirvana.
Because then the consciousness,
That is the ultimate
you have
truth.
exactly, so you have not generated that energy of vijnana. You can call it consciousness or you can even call it soul or aura or astral body, but what it is, whatever you might call it, all you got to do now is think about it. Is that if there is nothing generated because you are not creating that transition from a transient energy moving on to an attachment with generating thought processes and thought energy, because you have controlled those inputs and those thoughts and reached that stage of nirodha samapaththi, you will not be reborn if you die during that state. Yeah, so that will therefore be nibbana, and that is the essence of where we are getting to. So all these other things that we are working up to and explaining until then is for us to try to understand it, but ultimately that is what we are trying to achieve. And so it's really important. So we've got 5 minutes left of our talk today. So it's really important to understand that what we are trying to do is understand what is anicca, understand what are the 6 types of vijnana, understand what is nirodha samapaththi, and that all our efforts, very, very important practice, is in order to achieve that situation, so that when we die at nirodha samapaththi state of our mind, we will have achieved nirvana. You and I both can do it in this life.
Yeah, but meditation means we can control our mind. Mind means the brain waves. In Samadhi Bhavana, when we are practicing the Samadhi Bhavana, the brain waves come to the level, the simply level. The first level to the, it is called that the beta, theta, alpha, delta. In the Samadhi practicing, we are stopping at the theta level. But nirodha, the theta level means the brain waves is existing. It means that when we are dying at the Samadhi Bhavana, we rebirth again to the Brahman, another world called the Brahman. But when we are practicing the Vipassana, we getting down to the delta level. It is means no thoughts, the empty of the thought. It is called the nirodha.
That is very, very useful. The other, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, we need to understand about the concept of ping and pow. So we've got 3 minutes left, but it's very important, because I understood from our talks that when I do some good actions or some generous things, or when I am thinking good thoughts and talking nicely and friendly and happy, that means I am doing some meritorious things. Those will make me happy and will make the world happy. But it probably does not help me to reach Nibbana, because Nibbana is a different thing. In fact, sometimes you might say that Nibbana is like being very selfish. I need to have time for myself. I need to not go out and help some other person. I'm trying to help myself and make time for me to sit and be in a state of nirodha samapaththi. So just like that, doing meritorious actions may not help me with nibbana, and certainly doing sinful actions like hurting or killing or stealing and things like that also won't help me with my nibbana. So this ping pow is also an issue that we must discuss later, isn't it?
Yeah, the next time I think, but another the Pali words, the Magadhi words, the Sabba Papasa Karana, Kusala Supasampada, Sachitta Paryodapanang, Etam Buddha Anusasana. This is the summarized the teaching of all the Buddhas.
Okay.
But Sabba Passa, Sabba means the all. Sabba Passa Akarana, nowadays people talking about that, you have to do the merits always.
But there's a misunderstanding.
Misunderstand.
Okay, so we have to end this particular talk, but we will start another one now about that particular thing, about Sabba Papasa Akaranam Kusalasa Upasampada
Sachitta pariyo.
sachitta pariyodapanang
Etang buddhanusasanam. All the Buddha's teaching.
etang buddhanusasana.
But
So
it is not the
it is
nowadays
not the
people talking about that sabba papassa akarana. Kusalasa means you have to do
Good
things. Sabba papassa akarana, you have to stop in the bad
things. So we want to analyze what do we actually mean by good things and bad things about that lead to nirvana. You know, there's a big difference. But we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you.